Good morning to all. Whether my voice is audible? Yes. Okay. Thank you. So in last lecture, all of you draw this diagram, deadweight pressure gauge tester. This is the last instrument of pressure measurement devices. Okay. So anyone still remaining or incomplete this diagram, please inform me. So I give you to more time to draw this diagram, then starting this description. Okay. Please reply me if your diagram is completed. Anyone is Anyone please reply if completed or not. Okay. 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 Thank you. See the description and construction working of this deadweight pressure gauge tester. This is mainly used as a calibration purpose. Means all of these pressure measurement instrument are proper working properly, or they give it the proper answer or exact readings. Here, check this all instrument with the help of the deadweight pressure gauge tester. It's also known as a calibration tester. Okay, see the construction here. One evacuated cylinder is there. In that, fluid is there, some kind of oil, nitrogen gas, and in combination of air. This is piston, cylinder piston arrangement is there. Here platform to put their weights, and here a valve to release the pressure, and here dial gauge means test gauge, display the reading. This is the plunger. When you apply force on this handle, this oil get compressed and this platform get move upward and downward direction. When you place some weight here and applied force on this handle, this oil or fluid get compressed and this piston slightly move upward with carrying this weight and creates pressure. This pressure is display on this dial gauge. Here, to maintain this weight or balance the weight and this dial gauge reading 0, they are calibrated in such a manner. Okay, this is the construction. Here, see the description. DWT tester are a piston cylinder type measuring device primary standard, they are the most accurate instrument. See, they are the most accurate instrument for the calibration of electronic or mechanical pressure measuring instrument. Deadweight tester is a most accurate instrument for calibration of electronic or mechanical pressure measuring instrument. Okay, the work is accordance with the basic principles of P is equal to F divided by A. Pressure is equal to force upon area. Okay, the force of piston is thus compared with the force applied by the calibrated weight. When you are applying force on this piston, applying force on this cylinder, this piston move upward and downward. This compare with this weight. Sorry for that. Some problem is there. Okay. So the force of the piston is compared with the force applied or the calibrated weight. The use of high quality material result in small uncertainties of measurement and excellent long-term stability. This tester measure pressure up to 10,000 bar, attending accuracies of 0.005% to 0.1%. Although most applications lies within 1 to 2,500 bar. The piston are partly made of tungsten carbide used for the small temperature coefficient, and the cylinder must fit together with a clearance of no more than a couple of micrometers in order to create a minimum friction, thus limiting the measuring error. The piston is rotated during measurement to further minimize friction. Standard uses piston cylinder load plus to make the equilibrium with the applied pressure under the piston. Means you have to apply load on this platform, and this applied load compared to the calibrated pressure. A special hydraulic oil or gas such as compressed air or nitrogen is used as the pressure transfer medium. The measuring piston is then loaded with calibrated weights. The pressure is applied via an integrated pump, or if external pressure supply is available, via control valves in order to generate a pressure until the loaded measuring piston rises and floats on the fluid. This is the point where there is a balance between pressure and the mass load. Okay. Here is the overview of deadweight pressure gauge tester. Any doubt, any question about this deadweight pressure gauge? Okay, no question. Then write down. A deadweight tester is a piston cylinder type measuring device. A deadweight tester is a piston cylinder type measuring device. Full stop. As primary standards, they are the most accurate instrument for the calibration of electronic or mechanical pressure measuring instrument Full stop. They work in accordance with the basic principle that capital P is equal to capital F divided by A, where P is pressure acts on a known area of sealed piston, means capital A, and F is the generating force. We'll stop and explain. The force of this piston is then compared with the force applied by calibrated weights full stop. The use of high quality materials result in small uncertainties of measurement and excellent long-term stability. Full stop. Next, next line. It can be measure pressures up to 10,000 bar, attending accuracies of between 0.005% and 0.1%, although most application lies within although most application lies within 1 to 2500 bar. Full stop. And next line. The pistons are partly made of tungsten carbide in bracket used for its small temperature coefficient. And the cylinders must fit together with a clearance of no more than a couple of micrometers in order to create a minimum friction thus limiting the measuring error. Full stop. The piston is then rotated during measurement to further minimize friction. Full stop and next line. A deadweight tester is a calibration standard method that uses a piston cylinder on which a load is placed to make an equilibrium with an applied pressure underneath the piston. Full stop and next line. A special hydraulic oil or gas such as compressed air or nitrogen is used as the pressure transfer medium. Full stop. The measuring piston is then loaded with calibrated weight full stop. The pressure is applied via an integrated pump or if an external pressure supply is available via control valve in order to generate a pressure until the loaded measuring piston rises and floats on the fluid. This is the point where there is a balance between pressure and mass flow. Next heading, vacuum measurement methods. or devices. Vacuum measurement methods or devices. Give the heading vacuum measurement methods or devices. In our syllabus, two devices are here, McLeod gauges and Pirani vacuum gauges. Give the heading McLeod gauges. Main heading vacuum measurement devices or methods. In that first, McLeod gauge. This is used for measure the vacuum. So I request all of you to draw this diagram under the heading McLeod gauge. All of you, please draw this diagram. Give the heading McLeod gauge. Completed. Completed. Anyone please reply whether the diagram is completed or no. Okay, thank you. See the construction of McLeod gauges. Here two capillary tubes are connected. In one capillary connected the bulb. Here this reference capillary and this 0 point is called as reference point. And this reference capillary connected to the another capillary. Here this connection or this point is called as cutoff point. Here this capillary to this bulb vacuum is present, and here bottom side mercury reservoir, this mercury is present. When applying force on this piston, this mercury displacer, applying force on this pistons, this mercury get move upward here, but this open unknown vacuum or open air connected to this capillary and stop this mercury, that cutoff point. Okay. So if this mercury is transfer this cutoff point to here bulb, then measure this pointer. This is height 0.42468, and this reference point also considered as a zero reference point. So unknown vacuum is come inside with the help of this reference capillary, and this unknown vacuum is comes to this bulb. When applying force on this piston, the pistons carrying mercury, this mercury transfer with the help of piston this upward direction, and this unknown vacuum is get compressed and taking reading on this capillary bulb action with the help of height. Okay. See the reference column with reference capillary tube. The reference capillary tube is point called as the reference, zero reference point here. This is zero reference point. The reference column is connected to a bulb and measuring capillary, and place of connection of the bulb with reference column is called as cutoff point. Here this reference capillary and this bulb connected to this reference point. This point is called as cutoff point. It is called as cutoff point since if the mercury level is raised above the point, it will cut off the entry of the applied pressure of the bulb and measuring capillary. If this mercury is move upward, so this mercury prevent the stop to come inside this vacuum. Below the reference column and the bulb, there is a mercury reservoir operated by the piston. Here this mercury reservoir, this is operated with the help of piston. Okay. Here one expression, mathematical expression is there, but this is not in our syllabus where how to measure this actual created pressure and vacuum. The pressure to be measured means P1 is applied to the top of the reference column of the McLeod gauge. The mercury level in the gauge is raised by operating the piston to fill the volume as shown by the dark shade of the diagram. You see here, this is the unknown vacuum P0. This some pressure is there, and here mercury is in cutoff point. This is condition 1. When in this case, condition 1, the applied pressure fills the bulb and the capillary. Here this air pressure comes here and fills this capillary and this bulb also. Then now again the piston is operated so that the mercury level in the gauge increases. Okay. Here then this is filled with air, and when you apply force on piston, this piston compress this mercury, and mercury gets move upward in cutoff point, above the cutoff point. The pressure here, and the second condition, when the mercury level reaches the cutoff point, the known volume of gas V1 is trapped in the bulb and measuring capillary tube. Okay. Here unknown air is present, unknown vacuum is present. Then when applying force on piston, then piston get lock here to move transfer the vacuum, and this unknown vacuum is get compressed, and this compressed vacuum creates some pressure, and this pressure indicate this reading on this height with the help of height. Measuring here, the mercury level is further raised by operating the piston so that the trapped gas in the bulb and measuring capillary tube are compressed. This is done. 62. Any problem? Nitin? Okay. This is done until the mercury level reaches the zero reference point marked on the reference capillary condition 2. In this condition, the volume of gas is measuring capillary tube is read directly by the scale beside it. This is the difference of height, capital H, of measuring capillary and the reference capillary become a measure of volume V2 and pressure P2 of the trapped gas here. Here, two capillary is there, P0, V1, initial pressure and initial volume. When you applied force on this piston gets moved downward and mercury get compressed here to lock this unknown pressure. This is P2 and V2. This V2 means this bulb volume and applied pressure on this with the help of piston. See that this McLeod gauge works on the Boyle's law. Now V1, V2 and P2 are known. The applied pressure P1 can be calculated by using Boyle's law. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Okay. The volume of bulb from the cutoff point up to the beginning of measuring capillary tube V, cross section area of capillary tube A, height of measuring capillary tube HC, then initial volume of gas trapped in the bulb plus measuring capillary tube. Therefore, V1 is equal to V plus ASC. Okay, the P1 is the applied pressure of gas of unknown. Then P2 is equal to pressure of gas of final condition, that after compression P1 plus H, we have P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 for Boyle's law. Therefore, P1 V1 is equal to in bracket P1 plus H into A into H. Therefore, P1 V1 is equal to P1 AH plus AH square. Therefore, P1 V1 minus P1 AH is equal to AS square. Therefore, P1 is equal to AS square divided by V1 minus AH. Therefore, AH is very small, then it can be neglected. Therefore, P1 is equal to AS square divided by V1. This is the applied pressure is calculated using the McLeod gauge. Okay.